Hi folks, welcome to tonight's show. I haven't set anything up. I'm half asleep, to be honest. This could be amusing. So yes, welcome to the show. We're going to start off with a quick. I'm going to make a quick scenario, and then I'm going to upload it to Steam Workshop. So we've had a couple of people. There's a couple of questions been coming up about how you add other stock into a scenario that's not part of the route. So I'm going to show you that at the same time because that's very quick, and then how you actually upload it to Workshop. So I'm going to do that. Yes, I've got. Let me turn. There you go. Look, I'll turn that back up. They got your music back now. Deadly Dorito got the BR24 Blue Peter and West Somerset. Oh, excellent. PC Fantastic appears to have bought the lot. Yes, Stargate King. I think a lot of them come for you, but I've had other people asking the same question as well, so I thought I would go ahead and do something. So I'm going to make a quick scenario on Adriana County, just because why not? It's a good route. So click New Scenario, Route Origin, Standard Scenario, and we're going to call it TSL Test Scenario. This isn't going to be a good scenario. This is a test scenario so that you can see the basic principles. PC Fantastic got the UK collection and the Europe collection of 27 pieces. Wow. Okay. Oh, I know what's wrong here. I can't use Adriana County because I'm using my restricted account at the moment so that I can show you menus and things. And of course, my restricted account doesn't have all the DLC that's required. So let's just make a scenario on the. No, it's going to install a whole pile of stuff. Right, let's go into build. What we'll do is we'll make a scenario on Riviera Line. So that one will work. Riviera in the 50s, there it is. So we'll do new scenario. And we will do this at... Where should we do it? We shall do it at Kingswear. Standard scenario. Right, TSL Kingswear scenario. Right, there you go. Show you a couple of other things as well. I'm not actually going to do a Railfan scenario because there's a bit more to it, but the key bit you want to start off a Railfan scenario, I can show you that much. I'm going to put together a sort of a more well thought out how to make a Railfan scenario, including the Lua scripting so that you can script the start off it, put messages during it if you want to, and then actually give it an ending rather than just no more trains showing up and just expecting people to press the exit button. But that'll come next week, hopefully. I started looking at it today, and I'll think about that a bit more rather than try and rush it. Hopefully, it'll finish loading in a minute. So we're just going into the scenario editor at the moment, and I am going to do a very simple scenario where I'm going to add some different trains onto this route. So if we want it, so let's start off with something really simple. Let's just say I want to do the Pania with 3 coaches, and I want to put it. Well, it's finished loading everything. There you go. I want to put it in the station. There you go. So that's putting a train we already know, and you mustn't forget, if you're going to make it do anything, including make the player do it, put a driver on it. Now, if you wanted to add something different, then let's say, I can't remember what trains I've got, but this is all I've got in the way of consists, and this is all I've got in the way of trains for this route. So it's all Exeter Kingswear. So if I click on this blue icon here, which you can't see, hang on a minute, let me turn off all the cameras, because who cares about the cameras right now. That one can go off, and that one can go off. Right, well, just leave me there. I think that's enough. Yeah, that works. So it's this icon here that you want. And you can't see my mouse by the looks of it. That's great. Now you can see the mouse. There it is. This icon here. So you click that one, and then over on the right-hand side here, another icon, another thing pops out, and this shows you everything that you've got installed. So let's say, for example, I want to put a class 17 and a class. What have I got here? I've got the. That's in DTG under RS. Oh, RS Derrick. Let's go. Under RS Derrick is the Weir Valley. So if we click the middle checkbox, so you basically these are all what we call the providers, and then under here are your products. So if you click the middle checkbox, now other stuff appears over here. So now Weir Valley Railway stuff has appeared. So we could now put a 25 in green on this route, and then we could go into RSC ECML South. Sometimes when you tick on them, they'll take a moment, particularly if they're a larger pack. So this is it's frozen for the minute while it loads everything in. Now all the ticks have appeared. Now you'll find that I've got 365s have appeared, and I've got the HST. So if I go into consists, there's a high-speed train consist in here. This could be comical. Right, so now we have a HST sitting in Kingswear Station, because that's real. That happened. Prove to me it never happened. No, okay, but it never happened. But that's how you can add stuff in that doesn't normally live in the route. So you can pretty much add anything you like in. Now, let's make the pannier do something, and then we'll think about uploading it. So if I go into the timetable mode, I've got other scenario tutorials, so I'm not trying to give you a thorough tutorial on how to make a scenario. You can breathe a sigh of relief on that one. So I'm just going to make it to where we've got service 1, and I want you to go to Churston. So let's do a passenger stop on the upline, and then a final destination on the upline. Right, so that's now going to say that that red line is the path that the pannier needs to take. And I'm going to remember this time to check that box and make it a player service, which means now it will be the one that the player controls. That basically is the basics of setting a scenario up. There isn't much more to it than that. Now let us go ahead and run that, which will save it. Now whenever you're testing a scenario, I'll say it again, never ever ever run it straight like this. This may well not work because the signalling doesn't get reset when you do this. What you have to do is now you've gone in like this, which saves it and gets out of the editor, come out and hit replay, and then that way you guarantee all the signalling gets reset. So if you're just pressing play and running the scenario, you have no idea what state the game is in because it doesn't reset it. So always press play, go into the game, then immediately exit and hit replay, and that way you'll find everything's a lot more reliable and makes a lot more sense. So as soon as this loads again, once we've checked to make sure it basically works in its weirdness, extreme weirdness. Kirkenstein, why does the signalling screw up then? It's essentially when you're doing stuff, moving trains around, all the events are getting fired and the signalling is reacting to that stuff while you're in the editor. When you then press play, it just doesn't reset the signalling back down. Always. It's not quite as simple as that. There's good reasons why it works or doesn't work that way. The easiest way is to just go in and come back out and go back in again. That's certainly what I find always gives me much more reliable and consistent results. So if we now Alright, just a quick run of this scenario. HST is behind us back there. You can see the 25 in the distance. So this is the scenario we just created. It all sort of seems to work. It's a bit crazy, but it kind of works. So yeah, that's basically creating a very quick scenario, bringing stuff in, and making the train go where you want to do. Now we've done that. I mean, this wasn't really the purpose of it. What we need to do is upload it to Steam Workshop. So I'm going to exit from here, and I'm going to go into the build menu. And on the build menu there is a publish screen. That HST was just a test, something I was demonstrating that you could do crazy wacky things. And under, you've got root and you've got scenario. So you click scenario, and then we need to find what I named that. I think I named that something like TSL. There it is, TSL Kingswear scenario. There it is. So when you click on one of these, it will tell you, it'll do a validation. If you get ready to publish, you can click next. So we've got title, or is TSL Kingswear scenario. This is a load of old rubbish. Please do not download it. HST at Kingswear is a stroke of genius, if I do say so myself. Right. Now, so you've put your description in. That will appear in the description field on Steam Workshop. Hey there, HGT Nitron. Welcome to the stream. You now need to choose a screenshot. Now, these are screenshots that you've taken with the Control S key, so you can page through your screenshots and find it. Now what I'd recommend is you go in and clean up your screenshots and just keep the ones that you're looking at the moment, and back all your other ones up somewhere else. Otherwise this just gets really, really unmanageable, because all you're doing is it's going to take you ages to go through all of these screenshots. So we found a screenshot which is completely irrelevant to the upload. You should find one which is completely relevant to the upload. The other thing you can do is, if you take a screenshot and then go into Steam and go into the screenshots folder, edit that screenshot in Paint.net, you can upload it with an edited screenshot, so you can put titles and things like that on it if you want to. So it'll just take the images that you've got in your screenshots folder. It doesn't have to just be a raw screenshot, it can be an edited screenshot as well. So visibility, private, friends or public. I'm going to make it public because I don't want people to download it. That makes no sense at all, does it? Country, this is most definitely a UK scenario. What loco type is it? I believe it was a steam engine. This is just for helping with filtering and sorting and all that sort of things. Robpart does suggest Paint.net. That's exactly what I use. You should now click View T&C. Oh, okay. So you need to view the terms and conditions. Doesn't work for me. I make sure you're happy with all the terms and conditions, and then you click I agree if you do agree with all the terms and conditions. Which there's no reason why you shouldn't. They're fine. And then you click Publish. And we wait. It uploads the image, uploads all the file, then it pops up the overlay which you can't see. Let me just move things around a little bit and switch to a monitor capture so that you can see it. I think that and not that. No? Okay. I can't do a monitor capture because something to do with aero, and I'm not going to fix that right now. However, the scenario is now uploaded and it's on Steam Workshop. So it's there. So if you want to go and have a look on Steam Workshop, you should find it now. It's called TSL Kingswear Scenario. It's already done all the dependencies and so forth. That's the other thing to remember, is every time that you go into that provider product folder system and you tick stuff, it will add it as a dependency. Even if you don't use any of it, it will still require that the person owns that piece of DLC to be able to play that scenario. It now has 114. Oh dear. So yes, you want to be a bit careful that you add stuff that you're going to use. If you don't use it, if you go and untick it, I think that will remove it as a dependency. What does the 30 votes to make final mean, says Amtrak Lover? So for the 30 votes to make final is basically for routes. So when you upload a route, routes are uploaded in a work in progress state. And if you go to when you've uploaded the route in work in progress state, you are still allowed to make changes. And you can upload new versions of the route. Other people can download that route, but they cannot upload scenarios for your route because it's a work in progress route. The final stuff means that after there's been 30 votes for that route, for your workshop upload, you have the option to do this make final button that you can see here. And what that will do is mark it, it'll put the tag on it that says it's my final, and it will say it will now prevent you from making any further updates to that route. The only thing you'll be able to do is delete the route. You can now not make any changes to it because you've marked it as final, which kind of means you're finished with it. What it does mean though is that now once it's final, other people can upload scenarios for it to Steam Workshop. The reason for this is you might want to upload a route to Workshop so that other people can look at it, comment on it, test it out for you. You can then take that feedback, continue on development of the route, fix bugs, add stuff, break the route completely if you want to by relaying great big chunks of track, which normally totally breaks every scenario that's on it. But because none of those are on Steam Workshop, it doesn't really matter. So you can then upload it. Once you've made it final, other people can upload route scenarios for it, knowing that you can't break the route from underneath them, and all the scenarios on Steam Workshop will work fine. Yeah. So that's the reason for Workshop routes having this sort of difference between work in progress and final, is so that you can make changes for a while and share the route, and then you can make it to where you can't make changes, but other people can now upload scenarios for it. You just need to encourage people to give you the votes. Once you're ready to go final, encourage people to give you the votes so that you can hit that make final button, and then other people can then upload scenarios for it. So that's that covers off. I've had like I said, I've had a couple of people ask me, how do I publish stuff? I mean, the stuff for route is exactly the same. There's no difference. It's exactly the same. And scenario, you click it, it checks it. If you've got anything wrong with it, then it'll let you know. But normally you shouldn't, unless you've done something funky. It'll also automatically upload Lua scripts and things like that, so you should be okay. How do you vote for a route, Cameron's Gaming? You do that in the you have to use the Steam screen. So you go in there and hit the thumbs up button in the Steam screen. You can't thumbs up a route, unfortunately, in game, but you can thumbs up scenarios. So whenever it finishes playing a scenario, it gives you the option to upload the thumbs up or thumbs down, and then you should, that provides feedback. What I would say is, if you ever thumbs down something, go on to Steam and provide a comment, because nothing demoralises a content creator more than a thumbs down. And that could be, I don't like it, I don't have the rolling stock that I need, I think you've used too much rolling stock, I think this is complicated, I got completely confused. There's a million and one reasons why something you can hit the thumbs down button, and that doesn't really help the author improve. So always try and provide a comment. People are apparently doing thumbs up on my on my scenario. Oh dear, oh dear. Right. Oh dear. Just reading through the chat comments to see if I've missed anything else. Rubku says he used the Hamburg Hanover for his own route, but if he places the main station of Hamburg, he can't move it. That is a setting that's been done when the content creators made that asset. Once it's placed in the right place on the Hamburg Hanover route, they then tweak something in the blueprint, which means it can no longer be selected. The reason for that is when you place, I don't know if you've ever used other assets, you place them down and you've accidentally moved it. And you're trying to move one thing and something else highlights and it moves something, and then you've got to press undo or move it back. This setting in the asset blueprint stops that from happening and locks it into place so you can't reselect it, and that's why you end up with assets that can't be moved. It's because of the way that they've been set up by the authors. There's not a lot you can do about it other than hacking the blueprint, If you do hack the blueprint to remove that setting, I can't remember which one it is, then it won't affect the ability to upload it to Steam Workshop if you want to, because it'll just be locked when other people download it. So you should be fine with that. But if you look at the asset blueprint for the one that you're trying for the station or whatever buildings you're having problems with, you should find it. It's just a true false on off type setting. I think that's whether it's selectable or something like that. PC Fantastic. Yeah, I don't know about why you're having problems with Google Maps, because it's all working fine for me. So I will. I'll have to have another look at some point and see whether or not I see any problems with it. I don't know if it's set up on this machine. It was set up on the other machine I'm using. Okay, right. I'm going to switch back to changing route, because I've now got to switch the train sim back to my main install, and then we'll get on with driving some trains.